All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. All right, just a quick introduction, and then we'll get to answering questions. Uh, Governor Murphy spoke today, and I was hoping he would be crystal clear on moving forward as it applies to the school environment. However, we are still left with questions. So if you did hear Governor Murphy today, he will be following the CDC guidelines concerning masks beginning on Friday. He's also eliminating the 6-foot social distancing requirement. And then the next big jump is on June 4th, when all capacity limits for indoors and outdoor events will be eliminated. So that was the big news. The complication, however, is that school settings are exempt from those decisions. So there are separate CDC guidelines for schools, which currently is 3-foot social distancing within schools. There's separate guidelines from the NJSIAA concerning sports on campus, which allows all attendees and participants to be in person without masks, outside, outdoors. So that started about 2 weeks ago. And then also 2 weeks ago, about on April 26th, I guess, I'm sorry, later, more than 2 weeks ago, several weeks ago, the state published considerations for graduation ceremonies and other end of year events. So we actually had talked about that the last time we met. And as of this moment, they have not been updated. So there has not been clear application of the changes that were made today as it applies to non-school settings, how they might impact the school setting. So technically, we have not changed status from the last time we met to tonight. So I don't have new answers for you. As of this moment, our capacity is still in place, and we can guarantee 2 tickets per student. I am very optimistic that there will be some clear guidance moving forward, and graduation can be 100% normal, and the normal number of tickets will be provided to each student's family. I'm hopeful. I wish it came today. It would have made this meeting nice and smooth, but as of this moment, Governor Murphy's announcements today have not been interpreted to apply to the school setting. But the second they are made clear, I have my Camden County Department of Health meeting on Thursday. Governor Murphy has another press conference on Wednesday. Hoping there's a clear announcement, or at least one of the journalists in attendance will ask a question specific to graduation, because I just cannot imagine, after what happened last year with graduation, that the rules that Governor Murphy put in place come June 4th for everything but school settings won't apply to graduation. I mean, for example, he used the example that if the New Jersey Devils were in the playoffs, they would have 100% capacity indoors as of June 4th. So I just don't understand the logic of allowing that to occur, but not applying it to outdoor graduations. So assuming logic will win out the day and politics will win out the day, hopefully sooner we'll hear exactly what is the exact guidelines for graduation. Last Thursday at our Camden County Department of Health, they've kind of hinted that updated guidelines for graduation would be coming out. So I am still very hopeful. And the second we are hopeful, Dr. Toll and Mr. Smart will get an announcement out. All right, so that's the general introduction. The question about senior trip reimbursements, they were mailed last week. So if you have not received your senior trip reimbursement as of today, definitely contact the school because they were processed last week and mailed last week. I'll double check on that tomorrow morning, but as of Thursday, I was told they were put all in the mail. All right. There's a question concerning the graduation photo op survey that there's some complications. So Mr. Smart is responding to that question. So we'll figure out what the complications are for that. Okay, so at this point, what I was hoping to say is that graduation is 100% normal. Moving forward, I would be turning it over to our administrator, Dr. Toll, who's overseen 16 graduations. This one will be the 17th, right, Dr. Toll? So when I say graduation will be normal, turning it over to a team that has led the graduation for the past 17 years will be in good shape. Dr. Toll had his internal meeting, including Voorhees Police. So everything is on track for 100% normal. So everything is proceeding as planned. We just need Governor Murphy to make it clear how many people are permitted to stay. Question about concerning the rain. I mean, Dr. Toll's responded to that one. And Mr. Smart is responding to a question about live streaming. Yes, our graduation has been live streamed for many years now. So live streaming will be in place for this year's graduation as well. But that's normal because there's always been people who can't attend in person. So it's been live streamed. Okay, question about what the photo op is. So we are reserving the high school field. It's going to be set up to replicate graduation. And on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you could reserve a time to come with as many family members as you wish to take photos on the field, by the stage, by the trellises, by the scoreboard that will be decorated. We did that last year for the graduates because so much was limited last year, and it was really well liked. And given that we didn't know how many family members would be permitted this year, we decided we would run that no matter what. So all the information about the photo op and the basic facts of when graduation will be were sent last Thursday as well in an FAQ about graduation and the photo op. So Mr. Smart, is that also on our website for people to access that FAQ?
It was sent out in the e-news that went out on Sunday night.
All right, so the weekly Sunday night e-news as well. I'm hoping when it comes to the number of tickets, and I understand some families are split or have different circumstances, I'm hoping we don't have to limit tickets to any family in those situations. But certainly when we get closer to the event, and if we need to count down to the exact number of bodies that are permitted in the stadium, we'll do the best that we can for every family. So families, parents, and step parents that have been with children their entire time, we're going to do the best that we can. But I'm hoping it gets to the point where that won't even be necessary. Yeah, okay. I see another person hasn't received the senior chip refund. So I'll check with my business office tomorrow. All right, but if you email me, you could email me, the superintendent, and I will check on the status of the check that was mailed last week. Project graduation, they're doing like they did last year. They have a special gift bag for all the students. And Dr. Toll, have those plans been detailed for the morning of the practice? Is that when all the project graduation?
Yeah, the project graduation gift bags will be handed out at the conclusion of graduation. That's when they're planning to distribute those to seniors. They'll pick them up once the ceremony is over, and then they will proceed into the cafeteria to get their diplomas.
Thank you. Yeah, if you didn't receive the senior trip money, I'm starting to see a third person, just email me and I will speak to the business office about anyone who has still not received the senior trip refund. All right, I do see someone did receive their reimbursement. So it did go out. So I don't know if there was, you would think being mailed from our office within the townships would go out quickly. But I will double check anybody that emails me that it was processed and put in the mail. But thank you for letting me know that some people have received it. Mr. Smart, there's a question that the handicap seating link was not working. Was there?
That's the first I've heard of that. I will reach out to Mr. Pico and Ms. Hunter, since they created that, and make sure that that's working.
Yeah. So another comment about the Google Doc requiring permission.
Mr. Braylow, can you tell me which Google Doc that you're asking that needs permission to open?
The photo op one.
Yep, I will take a look at that right now. Thank you.
Okay, in terms of senior, we informed teachers that all grades for seniors, especially if there was any possibility of failure, had to be in the Friday before the last week. Right. So the week of graduation, we were reserving that for just the senior photo op, coming in for that. And then if any students have to touch base with their teachers that last week, we have practice the morning of the 17th, correct, Dr. Toll? Yeah. So those last 3 days are just for seniors to check in with their teachers as need be, but all grades and assignments were due the week before. Okay, so if you do continue to have concerns with any of the photo op survey do touch base with Mr. Smart, email Mr. Smart, and he'll double check things on our end. But sometimes there's permissions on the email user's end. We have had that conflict before. Some email that are from businesses or other school districts actually don't allow links to our Google Docs. We've experienced that issues before, but please email Mr. Smart if you continue to have it. Yeah, so in terms of the last week is intended to be like we did last year's office hours. We had an extended office hours with seniors last year because the photo ops took over more than a week to do. So it's intended to be office hours for that last week of school. So it's not mandatory attendance. No one's going to be lose credit due to attendance if for that last week. And I'll speak with Dr. Borda and with Mr. Smart, who's this senior vice principal. So we'll make sure all senior teachers are on the same page when it concerns the last week of school and getting grades in on time and all those issues. Right, so the yearbooks are not, Dr. Tola's typing here, but the yearbooks are not going to be ready until August, I believe. So at senior banquet, there's a special autograph section that the yearbook is providing, but the yearbooks themselves, since the students weren't here, didn't contain as much. So they're going to try to put what normally would have been in the spring supplement, things from the very end of the year. In fact, I submitted my senior message just today. So the yearbook is still being produced as we speak. Okay, so again, the second we get a clear answer concerning the number of people permitted to attend the outside events, we will tweet that out and send that out. And so I know some of you have family coming in from out of town and all of those things you're trying to plan. And believe you me, I was hoping there would be a clear answer today, but there just wasn't. And I know a neighboring district put out some guidance last week that was incorrect, and we were sent from the county superintendent a reminder this morning that we had to use the considerations for graduation that was published on April 26th. So there's a lot of confusion out there. So I am hoping for a clear answer, because quite frankly, it just doesn't make sense to me that we could have all of our parents attend an outdoor sporting event, but we're still limited to have people attend graduation. So I'm not understanding some of the logic of what's happening, but we'll get there. I'm hoping for a good answer. I really am. So I thank you for joining. Send me an email if you did not receive your senior reimbursement, and I will specifically speak to the business office tomorrow. We have the vaccination first thing in the morning. Camden County Department of Health coming in, but then right after that, I'll go to the business office and check on every single one that someone emails to me. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.